Robin and Rocky Brown live in their own slice of paradise in Indian Valley, Idaho, where they raise and train border collies for ranchers across the nation. The Broken Circle Ranch is surrounded by majestic mountains. The Little Weiser River flows by their home pasture in a sinewy grove of cottonwood trees. With over 35 years of experience, Robin Brown has built a national reputation for raising well-trained border collies for herding cattle or sheep on a real working ranch. She's got a cattle herd and a band of sheep for real-world dog training.
She's been doing this for most of her life, so yeah, you can't do it that long without really knowing your stuff.
Here, you can see her border collie Lass herding sheep across a field. With whistle commands, Brown instructs Lass to run clockwise or counterclockwise to move the sheep.
And then a clockwise for Rover is away counterclockwise. So this whistle is essential to what I do because, number one, when you're whistling, there is no emotion in a whistle. Your dog doesn't know, if you're in a bad mood or good mood. It's always the same. It's black and white. It's consistently the same. The whistle is just a whistle. The other thing, the dogs can hear that whistle a mile out. I don't have to yell. I don't have to scream. I can just whistle.
Training dogs for herding livestock came naturally to Brown. She grew up on a working ranch, participating in cattle drives with her family as a kid.
The ranch was in Cascade. It was a beautiful ranch. It was on Cabarton Road, all along the Payette River. It was absolutely gorgeous, where we ran cattle up on West Mountain and all that area up there. The greatest part of being raised there was the cattle drives that we would have in like late May, early June. We had a camp cook, we had cowboys, we had dogs, and that's where my love of the dogs started, was watching them do all that work. I had my own horse, I had my own dogs even at a young age.
In college, Brown went to her first dog trial.
I watched these dogs do this work and went, it was like poetry in motion. I want my cow dogs to do that. Is it possible? Maybe. And it was.
She credits cowboy Jack Handley with inspiring her about the proper use of dogs when herding cattle.
That's where my mentor for the dog part was, watching this cowboy riding alongside of his horse on my pony do all this stuff. And those dogs were important to him. They were like, it was his horse, his dog, and him.
Handley taught her that cow dogs weren't just a tool. They needed to bond with their master.
From the very beginning, when those puppies are little, they gotta want to be with you. They gotta love you. They gotta be your friend.
When she first started out, it was a man's world.
Have been, I think, a trailblazer with especially the women in the cow dog industry. I was one of maybe only 2 women way back when.
And now, more than 30 years later, Brown is highly respected as a dog trainer and handler on a national scale.
I love what I do. I feel very fortunate and blessed to have the upbringing that I did that brought me to this journey in my life. I can come out, I have my own hours, it's me and the dogs. Every dog is different, so it's always changing, forever changing.
She's a 3-time national cow dog champion. In the Art of the Cowgirl competition in Phoenix recently, she received the prestigious honor of the Master Dog Trainer Award. And now she's giving back by offering retreats and apprenticeships to women who want to learn the ropes.
People will come here from all over the country, stay with me for a week. It's like an apprenticeship or internship to learn how to use cow dogs, sheep dogs. I also do like a 6-week program called Master Your Training, where for 6 weeks in a row they come out for a couple hours.
Walking through the Broken Circle kennels, Brown explains where the dogs are going, to various ranches across the nation. From a monetary standpoint, trained border collies sell for several $1,000s each. For herding cattle or sheep, they're invaluable, experts say.
Okay, so this is my opinion. A dog will take the place of 3 men. The dog can go places where they can't go. The dog always shows up to work. The dog is always happy when he's working. But that dog will take the place of 3 men because of where it can travel and what it can do.
They're invaluable. With livestock around, you're dealing with livestock every day, I wouldn't think about doing it without a dog. And people who try to do it without a dog will take all day to do it, and we can do it in 5 minutes.
Rocky Brown says one well-trained dog is worth 6 cowboys.
They cover so much country. They look for cattle. They know their job. You're not waiting on them to show up in the morning. You don't have to pay them anything. Most of the time, they're in the right place.
Plus, it's hard to find cowboys available to ride cattle these days, making the dogs even more valuable. Well-trained dogs help with range management as well.
A guy will ride by a creek bottom and leave cows in it. They don't see it. The dogs hunt. They know they're in there, and you can depend on a dog so much more than you can a person without a dog. The dog's pretty invaluable.
Herding dogs are essential for moving cattle from one pasture to another, too, for rest rotation grazing, Brown says. Robin Brown teaches proper stockmanship in her clinics, too.
Stockmanship is taking care of your animals. For instance, if you're moving cattle up a hill and it's hot, and you've got your dogs with you, you want to let the cattle rest. You don't want to keep pushing them and pushing them and pushing them. For instance, this morning with the little baby lambs, they can only go so fast, so you've got to take your time. It's just treating your animals right and with the least amount of stress possible.
Women have a natural touch when raising dogs because of their nurturing instincts.
It's actually gotten to be huge. Like people all over the country, everyone's wanting to be training dogs.
She's seeing the potential come through with her daughter, Quincee.
She's very good at it. She's got a really good eye for it. She's intelligent. She's really great with the dogs. The dogs have got to trust you or it doesn't work. And she's got that kindness and thoughtfulness about her that would be able to do something like this.
Quincee remembers being surrounded by dogs growing up. Now that she's out of college, she appreciates her mother's talents.
Coming back from college, there was like a couple times I went out here. I was never really involved with the training until I was, an adult, and I came back and was like, there was much more of a brilliance to it than what I felt growing up was mastery and kind of intuitive communication that's happening often like on the fly, after like training happens and you really bond with the dog and the dog has a sense of itself and a sense of its duty and instinct.
In essence, the master seeks harmony between the dog and the livestock.
The best moments, I think, are when it seems like they're in tune, when they're in key together.
Robin is thankful to have her husband Rocky helping out full-time at Broken Circle Ranch.
And he was very good with dogs because that's what he's done all his life. He's worked on ranches his whole life, and he gives lessons, he helps people, he helps put this whole thing together. He makes things easy for me. He builds more kennels.
Robin Brown is hopeful that Quincee may stay interested in their business.
Helping me raise puppies. She's actually started her own dogs, and I think it would be great for my Broken Circle Border Collies to keep going. I built up. I think it'd be great if maybe one of my kids did it. I'm just saying that, so that's a win.
In the meantime, Brown is ready to spend more time at home.
I felt like I've put my hours in, and now I kind of want to stay home more and just train and eat apple pie.